I did the video yesterday before telling you a thing or two that I thought kind of interesting. I had shared with you some of the airplane incidents in my life, and one of them was the first time I flew with a missionary pilot was to San Blas Islands, where the Kuna Indians live. The missionary pilot was the preacher, and I was the singer, and that was it. And we'd been told not to drink the water. And the first thing was when we tried to land, he circled the island twice trying to find a smooth spot. and they don't build runways, you know. And he said, well, this is mud. There's nothing but mud, but we're going to have to land in the mud. So we did, and it was quite a bumpy experience because, you know, the wheels were not happy with that. And I don't know how old that mud was or if it was even wet. I mean, I don't know how he did it, but after we landed, the Indians came running out with some sort of little mat things for us to walk on so we didn't, you know, sink in that, whatever it was, mud, I guess. But the first thing they did was offer us Kool-Aid. Guess what? We drank it. I don't know where the brain goes sometimes, but when I went to Mexico, I was being very careful not to drink the water, but wanted ice in my Coke. Ice is water. Well, anyway, I learned something on that trip that I needed to know. I sang in the sign language and in English because I didn't know Kuna Indian language. And the preacher, the missionary preacher, had an interpreter, but apparently the interpreter didn't do music. I don't remember why that, or if he actually knew the language. Maybe he actually knew the language. It's been a long time. I've forgotten all that. Anyway, I do remember this. When we left, he said, "This has been a hard trip, and I know that your heart was that you wanted to minister to them, but they didn't understand a word you said or sang. And I would advise that if you go on any more mission trips, you learn your songs in the language of the people." Well, that really, really got to me. And I realized that is so true, you know, so true. So I did from then on. When I went to Romania, I had, I've forgotten who, read my text to me in Romanian and I recorded it. And then when I went to Brazil, my friend Perry Ellis, who was a missionary and pastor in Brazil for many years and a wonderful singer, sent me a cassette tape of several songs in Portuguese. And I learned them just like he sang them. And when I did sing them in Brazil, people thought I was Brazilian. So that was the greatest compliment I could have had. But it was all because of Perry Ellis. Another thing I forgot to tell you yesterday, or didn't forget, I was trying not to be too long. When I sat on the plane and turned sideways to let the lady into the middle seat, she was coughing and sneezing. I mean, I thought to myself, here I have just gotten over COVID. I'm not even over everything, you know. And she is going to make me sick again. And I started to say to her, could you aim your... But there's another lady, you know, sitting at the window seat, and we're all jammed in there together. And this is another thing that is scary about being older and sort of vulnerable about disease is that you get in a huge crowd and everybody is unmasked, and they might as well be, it might as well be. And they're not breathing their own carbon monoxide. But I thought to myself, if you didn't have COVID and you went on this plane, you might have it after you got home. There were 7 of us on the ship that were pronounced with COVID, and they were given an isolated departure from the ship. After that, who knows? And that's kind of what happened. I decided today was a day to unpack. I have not, as you know, I have not been up to par, and I didn't want to cope with, putting all that away. The thing about going on a trip is, and most of you know this, you got to take your toothbrush and your medicines and your makeup and your shower cap and your soap and they've got soap, but you have no idea how your body will react to their stuff. So if you have any tendencies to allergies at all, you need to take your own stuff. And some people even take their own pillowcases, pillows. I did not do that. But as soon as they know that you have COVID, you no longer have room service. They will leave your food at the door like you're a starved animal. And they don't change your sheets. They will bring you clean towels and clean sheets and leave them at the door if you want them. But, all that room service that you were excited about ain't happening now. The food is different because it tends to be European. And they have a lot of kinds of little salads and things that you don't think of, but they're very good, some of them. One of them that was interesting to me was called watermelon, feta cheese, lettuce, and dressing. And the watermelon was cut in wedges that looked like a triangle about 1/4 of an inch thick. 3 pieces of watermelon and 2 or 3 pieces of feta cheese on lettuce. Believe it or not, it tasted good. And there were things with sea animals that I didn't particularly want to try. Some kind of shallots, and I just, not shallots, what do you call those things? Mussels. Just not, I'm sort of a southern eater. I can trust fried catfish. Excuse me. That is ongoing. And I wanted to tell you that the medicine they gave me at the infirmary on the ship was Robitussin DM for the cough and Tylenol. That was it. And it apparently helped a whole lot. The cough went away almost instantly with the medicine. And it comes back now and then, but it's... Anyway, I am trying to get reoriented into this time frame and into this Central Standard Time. I'm really wanting to get back to normal. Last night I went, took a shower, did my night meds, all of that, got in the bed, answered a few Facebook inquiries and messages, and went to sleep, I think, for about 2 or 3 hours. And then I woke up and I was trying to think of something to say today and pray. And there was just like this flat line. It was like my mind said, we're not going there. Go back to sleep. We're not going there tonight. And it was a frustrating thing. I finally got up and used my vibrator pad on my legs because my legs were swollen. That is a machine that sits on the floor, that does this and you put your legs on it. And it really helps with swollen legs. So I did that for 10 minutes, and then I ate a cheese cracker and drank some grape juice. I thought this will put me back to sleep. Then I got back in the bed and started again, and another flatline. No, I couldn't pray. I couldn't think properly about the Facebook, except to say to myself, you didn't finish today. You can finish today, tomorrow. Well, it was strange because normally my mind works pretty well, and I can think of things that I can pursue in the night to say to you in the day. But last night it would not come, and the praying would not come. I slept too late because, I was up in the wee hours, and then like 5 o'clock you go to sleep and sleep till 9 or 10, which is still sleep, that's good. But it was the Lord who said to me, I've got this. I know your heart. I know your mind. And I know your body. And I can keep you through these times of change that frustrate you. You will have something to say, and you will have prayers that will be answered, because though you may change, you may go to Alaska and Canada and Dallas and home, and I never change. I'm always there. I'm always with you. I never change. He never sleeps. He never slumbers. He watches me both night and day. God bless you today.